Hi, this is Jamie with Coastal Business Supplies. This is video 3 of our 4-part series going over the Brother ScanNCut. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. So we did a first video going over the overview of the Brother ScanNCut. Our second video was going over the standalone features using heat transfer paper in the scanning method. Our third video, which is the video today, is going to be going over our heat transfer vinyl and using your computer as a means to hook up to the machine and cut. And then our fourth video is going to be going over a screen grab of how you can take your designs and send them to the Brother ScanNCut to retrieve the data. So let's get started. So again, we are going to be going over heat transfer vinyl, so we are going to be using our cutting mat. In our second video, we went over the features of the scanning mat and the cutting mat. So the scanning mat is used mainly for scanning your items into the cutter and then transferring to the cutting mat to cut them. So I did also mention that this mat does have a film that it comes with. I always leave the film on just to protect the mat, sorry for the sound, from any debris. So it is nice because you do want to protect this because it can get a little dirty, but if it does get dirty, you can use baby wipes to wipe it off or warm water to kind of wipe that off. So first we're going to feed our mat through. So I always like to make sure that it's nice and straight in here. We're gonna pull our level down, we're gonna lock it into place, and then you're going to press the mat button to scan it through. Okay, so it has registered that. So now we are going to lay our heat transfer vinyl on. Okay, nice and smooth, make sure it's kind of flat. So now we're going to go into the computer to send the job to our cutter. We are sending it via USB. So the USB port is on this side of the cutter, and just make sure it's on the bottom for a secure connection between the two. If you do have issues with it connecting, make sure that they're just nice and secure in there. And we are using the Brother Canvas workspace for this. So we are going to be working with the Brother Canvas workspace on the next video, video 4 to the series. So we will be going over more features of it. But for now, we are going to send our job. So when you're in the Brother Canvas workspace, you just transfer the file to the cutter and you choose via USB versus internet or just wirelessly. So you'll get a notification that the machine is ready to retrieve the data. You're going to press OK, and that's when you're going to go to your cutter. You're going to click on the retrieve data right here. You have several different options. So you have your cutter connection, your USB via jump drive, or you have your just USB cable. So we're going to press on the cable in the computer, and there's our image. So it's right there. That's very fast, right there. Again, you have your editing tools on the screen that you can do, so you can add your patterns if you want. You can, delete the image. We went over that in our second video, where you can, delete the image if need be. We're going to keep every image on here today. We're just going to do the cut. So we're not going to mess with too many of the settings that are in here. But again, there's a lot of features if you do need to change things around, add a little bit more. So first we're going to press OK. You can press save to save that in your system to retrieve it at a later date. We are going to use the cut feature today. So again, there's a lot of features in here. Cut, draw, emboss, foil 1, foil 2. Foil 1's the glue, foil 2 being the foil. We're going to use the standard cut feature. So click on cut. And then again, you have more features in your cut menu. So click on cut if you need to, if you need to change anything, you'll go to the wrench. You can change your cut speed, cut pressure. Again, there's that half cut in there. The half cut's very important because if you don't have the half cut on, when working, especially with vinyl, it can go into your mat, so it can ruin your mat. Just because it goes so deep in there. So we like to have the half cut on. Again, that's where that blade sensor technology kind of goes into play, and where it senses the mat, senses the vinyl, and that's really what that's for. So you can take it off. That's obviously a preference. You can do off on that. And then that's really all the features. So we've already kind of set everything. Obviously, you can do a test cut. We recommend doing a test cut, so we're going to do that right now. And you can move the test cut around, so sometimes it's hard if you don't want to remove the whole mat and kind of go through the features again of putting it back into place. So you can move it to the bottom. So we have ours on the side here, so we're just going to send that through right now. So again, right here it's scanning the mat. Scanning the material, and it's going to do its test cut. And there we go. So we're just going to make sure it did the proper cut in here. And you can use a weeding tool. We carry weeding tools on our website at coastalbusiness.com, or you can use an X-Acto knife that we have today. So it did a perfect cut. If it didn't do a perfect cut, that's where you want to go back and change your cut settings. So that's where you go test again. You can change your pressure, the speed, any of the features there. Okay, so now we're gonna press start. So let's get this going. Okay, so it says cutting, it gives you an estimation of how long it's gonna take. It says 1 minute. It's going to test the blade, and it's gonna test the material. So it is nice that it does do both, test the mat and the material, so it can kind of compare the two. So now it's gonna do its final cut. And again, you wanna make sure that the cutter is in a room or on a table where there's enough space behind it, because it does kind of feed out and feeds back in. So you do need that extra room so the mat doesn't get bent or anything happen to your material of any sort. And it's nice and quiet. So that's a huge feature as well. That's so quiet. So I really love that part of it. And then we're almost done. So it does give you a nice progress bar up there. So it says finish cutting. We're just going to press OK. We're going to unload our mat. And this is the step where we just weed away, the excess here. Go from this side. Easier. And of course you can take it off of the mat if need be. Okay, so there we have it. So this is our final design that we have done. Again, this is going over the features of using it via USB, via USB connection. So in the fourth video, we are going to be going over using it on a computer to screen grab. So I'm going to go over, getting an image, taking it to Brother Canvas Workspace, and then sending it to the cutter so you get a better idea of how that works. But as always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next series.